This is Craig Ford again, Mayor of Gadsden. I want to thank you all for listening and watching. Today I have Mr. Talton with Fire Marshal of the Gadsden Fire Department.
Good.
And I want to thank you for what you do and for coming in today. And what people don't realize what all you do, but I kind of do, being an insurance guy in the past. But it's so important as far as in you making sure the buildings are safe and what the buildings are needed and what needs to be done in the buildings, and especially when somebody remodels a building or rebuilds a building or anything like that. You're kind of a jack of all trades in that area when it comes to safety. But you tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I like to think my job is a three-part job. I do code enforcement, which is what you were referring to, any new building, any renovation, and then our annual inspections. We annually inspect every building in town every year. That's our goal. So, looking for fire code violations, the word is fire code violations. I like to say it's more of we're looking to see if we can make your place safer. We're not out there to try to find you and put you out of business. We're there to make it a safe place. So fire code enforcement is one part. The other part, I do the investigation of fires in the city. All the fires, structure fires, are investigated. So we do that, make sure that we know the cause. Because once we know the cause, then we can pinpoint our fire prevention, which is the third part of my job, is going out and teaching people how to stay safe.
Yeah.
We look at the investigation of fires, just like recently we've had 3 structure fires in the last 24 hours. 2 of those were due to heating. So right now my push is to get out the word about safety with heating.
So yesterday in the city council, you mentioned something that sparked my interest, and last night I was up on my ladder trying to fix my batteries in 2 of my smoke detectors.
Yes, sir.
And of course, you know, everybody sets one off and it just beeps for about another 2 minutes, but finally got it figured out. And because you had said everybody needs to check their smoke detectors at this time of year, and you gave a good time period of when to do it is when you change your clocks. Spring forward, fall backwards.
Spring forward, fall back, check your battery.
Okay. And I thought that was fantastic. But then the other thing, you said we've had 3 fires in the last 24 hours. And it's funny how around here in this building and where I used to work, the people put those space heaters underneath their desks.
Exactly.
And can you elaborate on how dangerous those are?
It's not that they're necessarily dangerous, it's the use and how we use them that becomes the issue of how dangerous they are. A 3-foot minimum area around the heater for any combustible. And a lot of people, they hear that and they go, okay, I know, don't get it too close to the bed, don't get it too close to the curtains. But what they fail to consider is your clothes are combustible. And you yourself are combustible. So keeping a 3-foot area with you, we all love it. It's just like backing up to the fireplace. I can't think of a better thing when it's cold to back up to the fireplace to get warm. Well, we treat our space heaters the same way. But the problem is sometimes we get a little too close.
Yeah.
So having that heater under the desk, it becomes dangerous because then you have the desk, you have the papers, you have the trash can, and you have you.
Well, not to mention some people forget to turn them off.
Exactly. That's another one. Forgetting to turn them off, they stay on overnight. One of the fires we had is interesting. The thermostat for her heater, it doesn't actually cut off. It has a bottom out at like 45 degrees. So once it's lit and ready to go, it's going to come on. Well, she had turned it all the way down and left for the weekend. But it got down into the 30s and the 20s. Well, it actually did come on. And then there was something happened faulty-wise or whatever, but she wasn't home to know that the heater actually had come on.
So didn't you say also yesterday something about the UL listing? Or
UL listing. All space heaters in the United States are supposed to be UL listed. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to be, and there's no law that says they must be.
Right.
But to pass a standard, we have the UL listing here. UL listing is Underwriter Laboratories. They basically do testing to ensure the safety of products. Okay. And heaters just happen to be one of the things they test. They either test them in-house themselves, or the companies that make them provide the testing that meets the standard of UL.
So make sure if you buy one, it has that UL
If it has the UL listing, the 2 things that are key to know is that it will have the tip sensor in the bottom to where if the heater falls over, it automatically cuts off.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
And it also has the overheat protection sensor. If it gets too hot, it will automatically cut off.
Okay.
Without the UL stamp, it may or may not have those sensors.
Okay. So this is just for the people out that's listening. What do people call you, Mr. Marshall, or what?
It depends on if they like me or not.
Yeah, if they like you, what do they call you?
Jason.
Jason.
I prefer to be
well, there you
called.
go.
I'm just
Okay.
Jason. I'm just
All right.
me.
So, you know, you got all these titles around here, Chief Reed, Chief Jaggers, and all this. Okay, so Jason. So you told me not to ask this. You said be here a while. Well, we want to be here, but tell us about your family.
I'm happily married to my wife, Amy. Together, we have 7 kids.
Wow.
4 boys and 3 girls.
That'll be Johnny Brown.
I have
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 grandkids.
Good for you. I want some grandkids. It's time. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the other odd thing to it too. I like to tell people this. My oldest stepdaughter, Briley, is 29, and my youngest son is 11.
So we got some new fire marshals in training there.
That's
I
it.
hear you.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's great. Congratulations. But that's impressive. 7 kids. Wow. That's well, you almost got a baseball team there.
That's it.
Well,
That's
listen, is there anything else you'd like to tell the people and the public a little bit about fire safety or anything, what we're about to go through with the winter?
With the wintertime, everybody be safe. Heating becomes an issue. Fires become an issue, and even the outdoor fires become an issue. We've been dry. I know it's raining today, and we've got rain predicted, but we are still awfully dry. So be careful with your fires outside. Keep it safe. And to the businesses, I want to say this. I've always tried to tell everybody this. I try to approach the fire code official side of this like Andy Griffith ran Mayberry. I'm not out there pushing my weight. I'm not out there to arrest. I don't carry a gun. That's not what I'm there to educate and inform.
Well, and you're important. I can tell you from an insurance standpoint about making sure things are up to code and the people are safe.
Right.
And you're doing it for the people's interest. But
That's all I'm doing it for.
well, Jason, thank you, and I appreciate you coming by. And that was very informative yesterday in the council meeting, and I just want to thank you for what you do and for working with the Gadsden Fire Department.
I appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.